What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Don, and we are back with another video. Today we gotta talk about Odell Beckham, man. What's going on with Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, best wide receiver in the league, arguably. What's going on with him? So I don't know if you guys heard this or seen. There's a video on Instagram, right? Well, basically, it spread around all of social media, and it showed Odell Beckham. He was holding a blunt. So basically, for those of boys and girls who don't know, a blunt is basically the type of cigar that has weed in it, right? Which, hey, everybody's saying that's weed. What's wrong with that? Well, Odell, you're trying to be the highest paid player in the league, so it's kind of in your best interest to not do anything like that. And to make it worse, Odell was laying next to this Instagram model. I don't know her name because I think it's irrelevant, and I'll tell you in a second why I think it's irrelevant. Not even to mention her name and just stick to the sports portion of it. She was the one. She was actually. It appears she was cutting some type of drugs. I don't know if it was coke. I don't know what it was. It looked like she was doing something with a credit card. I've seen the video multiple times, and I don't know. Personally, I don't know if that's what it was, because honestly, it was hard to see what was going on there, but it didn't look good. And especially for Odell, you got to be a little smarter than that. You just have to, especially you are coming off a injury year. Giants have been playing horrible. You want to get paid, and to be honest, you need to realize that everybody is gonna give you some type of reason not to give you money, and this right here might be exactly what they needed for you not to get paid. You don't want that, and the way I feel about it is I don't need to be sitting here and insinuate what it is that Odell is doing, because I know he smoked the weed. And the way I feel about weed, if it's being legalized in states all across the country, I feel like we can give that a pass, even though it would still be a drug violation. If you wanted to be one of the best athletes or best professional paid players in the league, let alone the world, you got to make sure you set a type of standard, and you doing that doesn't help you. But that's not the worst portion of it. I think the other stuff that the chick was doing, the shorty was doing next to him, that stuff will get you in so much trouble, because it's so easy to now say that you were doing the coke too. And I don't know if he was. I don't think he does anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But you never want to give people a reason to doubt your greatness, and that is the theme of this video. You're giving people reasons to doubt your greatness, even though we all know how good Odell Beckham is. I think he's top 3 in the league. On his best day, he's the best, but he's definitely top 3. And that is what I gotta say about the coke portion. Now the Giants portion, I think they need to be very careful how they handle this situation. Don't fall into the trap of convicting him in the court of public opinion, because we know he did the weed, pretty much. Because if you're at this point, if you're holding it in your hand, obviously you smoked it. I don't see the Giants overreacting, because if you overreact, not paying, because you don't have to this year. It's not until the end of next year that they really need to decide if they want to. They don't have to. They don't have to pay him immediately. But I think it's in their best interest to look at the situation and sit down and talk with him. And I think that they needed to do that anyway, because I don't know where Odell's head is at with all the kicking and with the net and all that stuff. But right now, not a lot of people are in your corner, Even though Giants fans, even though they talk nonsense about you all day long, they would love you to be nowhere else but in the Giants uniform. So I say the Giants need to handle this just with care, No need at all to overreact. Don't overreact to the situation, because right now you don't have a lot of talent on this team. You don't know what the team is gonna look like. You don't know what Eli is gonna be. You don't know what the receiving core is gonna be. Odell is definitely a part of that, but I don't think he's part of preseason plans. They need to get him as healthy as possible to make this run that they need to make this year. The Giants are due for a big playoff run. I'm telling you now. There's no if or but about it. It's not just Odell that needs to step it up. It's this entire team. So that's what I have to say on the portion on the Giants. I don't think the Giants need to take this situation and blow it out of proportion, because if they use this situation to say that Odell doesn't deserve the money, that means that he deserved the money anyway. Because to me it would look like the Giants were waiting for something like this to happen. With Odell, which Odell is always kind of out there, in the public eye. But it would seem to me like if they use this situation to say that he doesn't deserve it, it would be in Odell's favor, because it would be like, hey, the Giants waited this long to tell him that he doesn't deserve the money after something like this happened. So then it would be like having something negative in his corner, just to basically not give him the paycheck that he deserved for being the best player in the Giants for like 2 years. So I don't think the Giants will handle it this way, because if the Giants don't pay him, somebody else will, and that would be one of the worst mistakes they've made in years, to let their star player go like that. So I think the Giants are going to play cool. They always kind of play cool, and they'll sit with him, they'll talk with him, and they'll take it from there. They'll let it go publicly, but I think privately there's gonna be a lot of phone calls and conversations, which they needed to do with him anyway, because he was due some real talking. And that's my next point with Odell Beckham: real talking. He needs to realize that this is the year he needs to prove himself. I don't care what you did the year before or the year before that or the catch. It doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. It's time to put up big numbers again. You might need to lead the league in receiving yards this year for the paycheck conversation to come back, because at this point you lost a little bit of credibility. And I shouldn't say a little bit. I should actually say you lost a lot of credibility now. You've gone out realizing that, hey, the season wasn't on you, but what do? You're recuperating, and now you're doing stuff like this. Never sits good with anybody, and it's always hard when you're coming off an injury year for people to respect you. And now he's really taking down a step back with all this in the eye. So I think if he proves himself again, everything will be forgotten, what he's doing in the off season. But if not, we can start to see Odell Beckham going down this road of what he could have been. Trust me, it doesn't take long in professional sports for you to be on the top and then be in the bottom. We've seen these things all the time. Randy Moss, for years he was trying to get back to what he was, even though he was making catches. Never won the Super Bowl, thanks to my Giants. But I'm saying, you in the NFL, nothing is guaranteed. One game you play, and the next game you might never play again. So I think Odell needs to take this seriously. It's time for him to really take his football talent seriously and prove on the field why he deserves the money, because he hasn't done that anymore. Not since the catch, really. He's made good plays here and there, but it's been overshadowed with him doing nonsense off the field. And the off the field stuff is what's not going to get you the money. He needs to realize, for him to get the money, he needs to start proving himself again on the court. On the field. Lastly, what I say about this is careful who you lay and chill with. Not everybody wants you to win. Don't give people a question to doubt your greatness. So, I don't know who that girl was. Never seen her before. But I will tell Odell, you need to be careful who you lay with, man. There was never any reason for her to record that moment with you and her, And now look, this can potentially cost you millions of dollars. Millions of dollars this can cost you, because you were foolish enough to trust somebody like that. You're sitting down smoking. First of all, the girl next to you, she's doing drugs and she's putting it on Snap. There are people in this world that do not want you to win. You need to realize that there are people in this world that do not want you to win. Therefore, you need to be careful in protecting you as a personal asset. So you are your own best asset, in realizing that you need to protect your value. You cannot be out here like that. It was very careless of Odell to do what he did, but he deserved this. If this is how you're going to run around, you're never going to get paid. I'm telling you, he needs to realize that not everybody wants him to be successful, no matter how great he is. You know, he has the talent. You know, women love him, which is great. You know, you gotta enjoy yourself sometimes, but be careful, be careful, be careful, because not everybody wants you to win. And I just wanted to speak on that whole Odell situation, man, because I think this is like a big point for him now. It's either you're gonna make it through this and you're gonna be one of the greatest receivers that ever played this game, or this is gonna be that another 30 for 30 story that drags your career downhill. And I hope it's the first one, man, because Odell is a great player, and he's really a dynamic type of football player. He's the type of player that can turn around the whole NFL with all the nonsense that they got going on. But it's your boy Donny, man. Let me know what do you think of Odell? What do you think Odell needs to do to get his career and life back on track? Should he leave the Giants? Should he stick it out? Let Donny know in the comment section, man. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace. I'm out.